Jeez. Yeah, I started, or I didn't stream yesterday. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it would have, like, right through when I would have streamed, there was tornado sirens going off. So yeah, like half an hour of it would have been me just not there. And the other thing too was that it ended the first time, and then it happened again like 2 or 3 minutes later after the fact, and so I had to go back again. So like, yeah, I'm actually kind of all right with not streaming yesterday. Yeah, that I'm entirely cool with. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the reason I didn't stream was just kind of feeling kind of meh. I think there's like something I wanted to watch, and yeah, just on top of that, I was kind of mad about streaming that day. So yeah, even though that was when Walls was announced to be the VP pick, which is really good. You know, it's a good pick when people from like progressives to even anti-Trump Republicans are saying it's a good pick and praising him. Like, that's how you know it's a good pick. You know, and like what the spectrum of voters you have is. And like, that's what the Democrats should really capitalize on, because yeah, they have such a wide ideology compared to the Republicans. Because yeah, the Republicans have like, obviously on a two-part system, you'd have left and then everything left of that, most likely, and then right and everything right of that. But since America's so far right, there's not really much further they can go. Like, I think really the only furthest part is like mask off, like Nazi kind of stuff. Really is like, that's about it. But even then, they've still kind of like talked about doing stuff similar to that. But the Democrats have everything to the left of that, basically. It's like, even like normal, like, I wouldn't say normal, but like a lot of Republicans that like are against Trump, you know, probably like those people who were there before Trump was elected and all that. So like, they have that base, and then like all the way to the left. So yeah, you have a huge net as the Democrat Party, and like, yeah, you should encompass all that. Try to capitalize on that, you know? And I do think how progressive policies will work is that right now people are like kind of, was where I'm looking, I literally skeptical about it, or like hesitant to like support those people. But I guarantee you, as soon as those got passed, it's over. I think even I saw a video of someone saying that, like, if Tim Walz or like Kamala and Walz get even like a fraction of what was like Walz did as governor of Minnesota, like, it's done. They have no chance. Because like, that's the thing, they're actually helping. They're doing good, instead of just like how it's kind of been these last like 4 years, where it's just kind of been the same, it feels like. But yeah, if they can get like even a little bit done that Walz did, like, it already very clearly shows like, oh yeah, we're actually doing good, we're helping. So yeah, that's nice. And yeah, I do think that I mean, Trump still obviously has a chance, but it definitely would have been a lot higher with Shapiro in my mind. And so yeah. God, I like how they're still doing Congress approvals. It's so funny to me, because it's just like, yeah, no, that sucks. 15%. Like, I feel like you wouldn't even think we have an actual functioning government if it's at 15%. Like, good lord, dude. That's disgraceful. What is that? You know, it's so disgraceful. I think I'll show it on the screen. Just like 15%. That's, and this has 13. Like, that's just disgraceful. That is laughably low. What are we doing, man? It's just so bad, dude. And I mean, I think it's because I did hear that it's actually good for a certain group for political gridlock. I forgot about what the group is, but it's actually good for them. I think it's like the donors. It's good for them to have political gridlock. Something like that. So yeah, that's probably the main reason why like it's just kind of remained the same. But that's also why I expand on like if you see progressive policies, like they're done. Because even if you see it at a national level, you'd be like, oh, all Democrats are like that. Like even like some normies would be like that. So then they're more likely to go Democrat. I think, yeah, with this one it's actually like still like neck and neck, you know? This is more Democrat as of right now, but like, I mean, yeah, here at the beginning of like 2023 is pretty strongly Democrat, but yeah, it's like neck and neck. But I do think like, yeah, if Walz and Kamala even do like some remotely positive or progressive things, like, yeah, no, then like that's gonna skyrocket and help like every Democratic race. It does suck though that Cori Bush lost her primary. I hope she runs third party, because I think I did hear that from someone as well. Oh yeah, I think it was the same guy. Humanist report of when AIPAC was like paying these people off, because I think someone lost their primary and then ran third party and won, right? Wasn't that someone in New York or something? I thought that's what happened, was that someone lost and then ran third party and won. Lost the primary. I could be wrong about that though. I mean, what is Cori Bush's district? Because if it's very Democratic, then she still has a chance to win. Like, if that's like the like St. Louis like area, you know, she probably still has a chance. But yeah. Also, this has shown Kamala in the lead in the national, like generally. Because I mean, yeah, she's going to win, especially with Tim Walz as the vice president. Absolutely, she's gonna win the popular vote, probably by even more than Biden won by. Because really, all Biden had going for him was that everybody was sick of Trump. That was about it. Yeah, I feel like with all these, it's so hard to like call these at this point. You just need to get closer for them. Yeah, so far on average, she's losing, I think, every single one actually. Oh, she's winning Wisconsin. I think Michigan actually. Actually, yeah, she is up, I think, in all the 3 Midwest ones that she needs to win. That's Massachusetts. Oops. Yeah, she is. I think choosing Walz too makes her more likely to win. Although too, for yeah, the only reason she's like up by so much is because these had +11, +12. Which, yeah, I'm be honest, I don't think that's entirely accurate, especially since this one went with slightly more voters and it's +1. Like, yeah, it's not much different. I think these are going to be outliers. But yeah, that polling though was like kind of wild. But I mean, yeah, I feel like you can get those wild results, you know. It can happen. Yeah, that's what this one is. I like how Kennedy's still throwing in all these, even though he doesn't have a chance at all. In fact, I'm sure he's lost support since Kamala has become the nominee. You know? I mean, this is still Stein because this is when Kamala was in the race the entire time. But who's Oliver? I don't know who Oliver is. Yeah, it seems like everybody who's voting for Cornell is now voting for Kamala at this point. At least a lot of them. Yeah, now I'm seeing like Cornell with like zeros, you know. So yeah, I guess I just showed the screen though, just so I could show how bad the Congress polling was. It's good. Good God, what was it? 15%? Jesus, that's awful. They should be ashamed of themselves. They probably aren't though, in all honesty. But they should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, now these Kamala rallies are freaking insane. I mean, because like, yeah, it's also Walz too. I feel like if you chose Shapiro, like, yeah, a lot of the energy would be like taken away. But yeah, you add Walz on them, and man, the energy is even higher. Like, yeah, these are massive. I'm not sure how big Biden's were. I assume they weren't that big, especially since it was during COVID as well. Like, I think a lot of them were in their cars often. They were just honk. So. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, the rallies are insane. I mean, yeah, it's just because again, Walz is such a good, like, VP pick. He actually attacks them, and then like when they ever bring up policy, he's like, "Yeah, okay." Like he basically just deflects it. Like, yeah, it's like that they shoot a bullet at him and he just deflects it off of him, just does nothing. And it's like that's how you should do it because their policies are stupid. It's so funny because I think Mike Johnson was like, "Oh, on policy we'll win for sure," but it's like, no, you're freaking weird. Because you're throwing policy insults at him and it's not working. Like, what are you talking about? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, because that's really just how you should own it. It's just like, okay, cool, whatever. Ugh. Yeah. I did see a thing on Twitter earlier that was like getting mad at Hassan because man, Twitter getting mad at Hassan, what else is new? But like I'm gonna be honest, like Hassan's done some like probably not great stuff, but I feel like in this case it was just kind of weird because they took his like, and I think what he was just saying was he was saying his own mindset. He wasn't saying like, oh, this is what you should do, because throughout it, and if you saw the context of it, he's like, I'm not trying to argue with you, like you're debating at nothing. So I think he was just stating his own perspective, his own view on the case. And even at the beginning of that clip that they showed on Twitter, he said like, you can vote for Kamala if you want, like I don't care. But then and he also brought up that Roe v. Wade was overturned under a Democratic president, which the person also said it was stupid, which I don't think it was, because I believe it was early 2022 when it was overturned. And I think then he had both the House and the Senate majority. So like, I'm sure you could have worked something out, you know, to like soften the blow, like ease it a little bit. But I don't think they did anything. Because like, I guess you could argue, oh, it's a state issue. What is the federal, like, what are the feds supposed to do at that point? which I think that's where he got to, because he was also then like, why are you voting for the president then? If like he can't do anything about that, you know? What's the point? Because, and I think he also brought up during that, like, the Democratic Party for the longest time has really just been like more of a preventative like messaging and being like, oh well, you don't want this to happen, right? Or you don't want this right taken away, right? So you gotta vote for us so that doesn't happen. I'm hoping that changes with Kamala and Walz at least a little bit. I mean, with Walz's background, it seems like kind of likely, but this will move at least a little bit over. But yeah, I think like during the Trump era anyway, the Democratic Party's been that way. But yeah, like they just kind of just been more preventative measure in their messaging. So yeah, I think he was also, that was a point he was making. They obviously didn't clip that on the Twitter, but like that's the thing. Because I feel like also people are like, oh well, you can't do anything, but it's like also like, yeah, think of like obviously that's probably because the judicial system has too much power. How about we try and fix that? Instead of just yelling at a person who just brings up a point about it, you know, like why don't we think about how to fix it? Because I feel like just screaming at him and also saying that he's a tanky is kind of crazy. Because I guess in their mind they're like, oh well, he just wants the president to have all the power, but I highly doubt that's the case. You know, I highly doubt it. I mean, I don't think he'd be a leftist then. Because that's the thing too, I don't understand with like the whole tanky thing is like, it's not even a popular thing in America to do that. Like sure, if the left was really popular, I can see like people like being that way, but it doesn't even make sense to do that. Because you take the authoritarianism that was used in like old communist regimes, which obviously was bad, obviously, any true leftist would say, hey, that wasn't great. And you just like you put it under leftist messaging, which also is not super popular in America. Like it's not insanely popular. Oh, that's a freaking get out of here with your stupid political ads. What the frick, man? God, that's on the stream now. God, it's another freaking ad. I have an ad blocker on and it does not care. Although, to be fair, I clicked in. I really hope, actually, it's not playing them. It's only playing when I click in. Yeah, I think YouTube found a way to get past the ad blocker, which is kind of insane. That's pretty insane. I do feel like YouTube needs to find better ways to like pay their creators instead of just being oh wait, sorry. Instead of just like ad revenue. Like you can have sponsorships, but that's from outside sources. I feel like YouTube needs to do something else. Because like people are obviously gonna use like ad blockers and stuff. And so like that just negates it. They don't get anything on it then. I mean, I do think most people watch YouTube on mobile. I am one of those people. But I'm sure for the most part it doesn't matter. But I really think you need to pay them out in some other way, man. You need to figure that out. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of weird. That's the only way they get paid. I think I've also heard that like YouTube's kind of entering like that last stage of like a capitalist like system or whatever. And it's like great. I mean, yeah, because like they never even, because I remember like not that long ago, I think them being like, oh, can you turn your ad blocker off or something like that, and it never did that before. So I think they're going full in on like, and like I can understand it if it's like, you know, like, oh well, that's how we pay our people, you know, but like I don't think that's how they framed it. I think it's more of like we're losing out money because these sponsors aren't getting their stuff shown. Well, actually, I think it's I think the mix of both, because they get a split of the ad revenue, I think, too. So I think actually it's both, but it's honestly probably more so that they can get their cut. than the creator's cut. I'm gonna be fully honest, but yeah. I don't know, man. Also, I'm getting upset about driving again. I've started thinking about the freaking stupid, like, oh, this shouldn't be air transportation or whatever. It's just so unsafe, dude. I don't understand it. I know why it is. It's just freaking car companies, but like in capitalism, and it's just so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. It's like great, yeah. Cause like the thing is also for me is like how my brain works. It doesn't work with driving. Cause I want to constantly be moving around and all that, and I can't keep like a because I can't keep like a constant like speed limit or like stay perfectly on the road because I want to move. And like obviously like if you want to stay like at those spots you can't move. So then I'm like swerving in the lanes or like constantly fluctuating like freaking speed. And literally the solution for it is to make it so one hand is doing like using one of those like I can't think of the word now, like fidget toys while I'm driving. So it's literally just to make my driving experience less safe, which is awesome, dude. That's so cool. Like yeah, and then when I want to make a turn I just throw the thing down and make the turn with both hands. Like that's great, dude. I love that. I love the fact that I have to be less safe in order to be able to drive like kind of normally. Like that's awesome. And like just get to somewhere, you know? Like that's awesome. Like it's the same with Brain too, because like I'm also going back to bullet trains and it's just like you're on a track, man. I mean maybe, but your bullet trains. Actually yeah, if it's used by if it's used by magnets, then oh, well, except during a typhoon, but like that's kind of extreme. Okay, it seems like they do stop during the rain. Yeah. It seems for heavy rain. I still feel like, you know, obviously this isn't the be all end all. Like I feel like it's similar to like a flight, you know? It could just be like on the ground, a ground flight. But yeah, like also just like buses, you know? And my mom always brings up, oh well, buses come at certain times of the day. I'm sure you can make it so like they're happen at all times of the day. Like I'm sure you don't need that many bus drivers. Well, okay, if you're in a big city, probably. But like, if you're in like a smaller city, I don't think you really need that many bus drivers. You know? And like we already live in a world where pretty much everybody has to get a license anyway. You know? It also creates more jobs. Yeah, there's also that. Yeah, like the thing in cars is it's so unsafe, man. And it's like, oh, well, we're making the cars safer. It's like, great, you're not making it any better though for the people like outside of the car. Like that's the issue here we're having. Like, sure, the person in the car is being safer, and that's neat, but like, you need to make it safer for the people out of the car too, and better, and also not pollute the cities, and not make it so if you walk around, you might get lung cancer. Like, that's awesome. I think it's pancreatic, actually, not lung, but yeah. Anyway, just higher chance of cancer. It's awesome. Like, just put the roads under the ground, man. Just make it so we can walk through the cities. And I feel like they're just like complaining and finding excuses to not do it. But the thing is, like, it's only gonna, because I think one of the reasons is like, oh, it's gonna take so long. But the thing is, like, it's only gonna get longer the longer you wait, you know? So, like, you gotta do it now. Plus, also when I'm driving, all of the road, like, I swear, like, half the roads I drive on are freaking terrible. Like, I can barely see the lanes, like, it's just really stupid, like, intersections, like, it's bad. It's real bad. There's really, like, a four-way thing where there's a four-way stop sign because of how stupidly made it is. And there's also, like, one part too, I think it's on, like, entering the highway. Or it's like exiting, one of the two, but like you have to go on this curve that literally goes for like probably like 3 yards or something like that, and just you keep going after that. It's like, why is that there then? What's the point? You literally turn on this teeny tiny road just so you can go back on it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So stupid. Like, America's so car-brained, and like, car-pilled. It sucks, dude. It sucks so much. I hate it. Like, yeah, I just don't enjoy driving either. I really don't. From, like, all the times I've been driving, I hate it. And also, like, I could tell during, like, my driving session, that's the reason why I'm late, is because I was driving like an hour and a half ago, but like, or actually 2 hours ago, sorry, but just freaking, I lost my train of thought. I mean, I hate driving. My mind is empty. No thoughts had empty. I think I did the thing where I have so many points that all of them blend together and I forgot all of them. Nice. God dang it, brain. Why am I like this? Why is my obsession politics, man? Why? I even, like, I don't know if I said on stream, but I said in my mind that, like, I would talk about politics less if freaking Kamala chose walls, because, you know, or at least, like, if I talked about it, it'd be, like, good things. Well, I guess that would have to be after the election, because technically we're still under Biden, but, like, I was just hoping I didn't have to talk about this stuff anymore. But now it's, like, on the cars. I guess the cars thing isn't inherently political until I talk about, like, policy changes, and it is political, but, like, God, or, like, why cars are still around, which is the capitalism. It's just like, man, freaking sucks. Like, I'd like to just chill out and, you know, be an entertainer. I kind of can't, though. I mean, I do think I will get an audience just because, like, I'm more than willing to talk about my own political views. I'm sure also I'll be in a lot of controversy because of that fact, but, you know, because people love just clipping stuff out of context, you know. Yeah, that is something I'm probably gonna have to deal with that like I haven't really processed with when I gain a following. Because the thing is, I feel like if I get rated, it's gonna be by like a comfy, cozy streamer, which like yeah, talking about politics is the opposite of that. I mean, I think I also gonna be comfy, cozy when I'm not talking about politics. But yeah, I think I'd get rated by like that person, and then a lot of those viewers would be like misguided. Well, not misguided, but like they wouldn't feel comfortable staying around, which I feel like is fine because if you show up at least like every once in a while and like are willing to hear about it, then like I feel like I'm cool with that, and obviously still stick around for like when I'm actually like doing fun stuff. But like if you just refuse to like listen to it at all, like that's when I kind of have a issue with it. Like I get it, what goes on is like depressing, but it's just like I feel like people need to just be informed about this stuff, so like come election season they just know what to do, you know? They already have like the tools and like they're already equipped. And I feel like honestly something I'd probably preach for a lot is vote in the primaries, man. That's probably where you're gonna see like an actual like real progressive and like someone who wants to get stuff done is in the primaries. Now Cori Bush just lost hers, but yeah, like that I feel like it's a big time. And like nobody really goes to the primaries, but like it's important. Probably because they, I would assume, put them in like bad times where you really can't vote easily. And yeah, for some reason, election day is not a freaking holiday, which doesn't make any sense. Because I think if like every other country they do that because it's just a smart thing to do, because you give people the chance to go out and vote. Because I'm sure that's why at least some of them don't vote. I don't think it's most. I think most of them is just because like the electoral college is definitely a big factor. I think the electoral college is definitely a bigger factor than them not being able to, but I mean, yeah, it would at least upturn a vote, like voter turnout a little bit. Just give them the day off on like voting days, you know? Whatever, man. Just whatever. Yeah, I'm hoping that I won't get super political. I will say though, like, there's a reason why I have what I do in the bottom left. It's just because like I don't want people to be afraid and offsetted by it. I want people to realize like, hey, we're just like, and I feel like Tim Walz is actually helping with it, with his rhetoric. I mean, he's not saying socialism. He's still kind of not exactly saying it. Well, I think he said one person's socialism is another man's neighborliness. And so I feel like that helps because that is the VP, you know, that's gonna help with the rhetoric towards that. But I don't think he's gonna go all in. He's still gonna talk about it being neighborly, which makes sense because yeah, you still haven't broken that mold entirely. So yeah, you still want to you know, walk that fine line. But I don't remember what this is going into. Can I? Why does my brain just yap and then be like, yep, that's it? God freaking dang it. Oh yeah, I was going back to the freaking bottom left. Yeah, I want to just show that, just to be like, hey, I'm a person who just wants to help people and doesn't like seeing people in like misery and poverty, like just sad in general, you know. And just like what I advocate for would make people not be in that way, you know. And like stressed out, that's another one I don't like. Yeah, and they just would not be like that, you know. It's why also I say screw money, because it really just only adds stress to the world. And I do know my mom actually like now clarified it being like, I understand the no money talk, but like realistic, like she's definitely being more of a realist in that case of like we're probably not going to see in our lifetime. I feel like I still want to talk about it though, just so it at least brings up the discussion of it, like at least like generations down from now, like I can be the one at least that started that discussion a little bit. But yeah, it's probably not gonna happen in our lifetimes. Like honestly, the best we're probably gonna get is socialism, but even then, I doubt it'd be like full socialism. I guess it depends on what happens after the boomers are gone. Cause see, I think that is Hassan. I think was pretty pessimistic about it, but I do think that there is going to be a generational switch this time because yeah, the boomers was so big that like for lack of a better term, like even when like millennials and Gen Xers came up, they were still like in control, you know, of like politics and all that. So like seeing them gone and then bringing in like Gen Z and Gen Alpha eventually, I do think you'll see more progressive thoughts because also the boomers were like, I think adults when Reagan was in office too. Gen Xers would be, when was Generation X? Generation X. Mid 60s, so that would be, shoot, what did my mom say? Because she's Gen X. I think she said she was in middle school or 4th grade, something like that. So the oldest would have been, I think, just an adult, because 1965 is the oldest. So I think they would have been like basically just an adult when Reagan was in office. No, they'd be 15 because he was president in the 80s. Yeah, so it'd be the 80s, 80 to 88. Is that what it was? Reagan's years, 81 to 89. Yeah. So yeah, they would have been 11 to 19 then, right? No, wait, 15 to 21, I think. Or 15 to 24, I think. Why am I doing math, man? Actually, because it would have been 16 to 25, I think. And 25 would be very rare. So it would have been like people who were just becoming adults for Gen X under Reagan. So yeah, I think, and they were also Cold War too, but I think once you get into like millennials, because like the Cold War is basically done at that point, I think once you get there, you'll see a lot of progressive, because like obviously we weren't under Red Scare propaganda. And another thing too is that we have so much information at our fingertips that like it's really hard for right-wingers to you know, like tell lies and get away with it, you know, because there's like always people there to fact check them. So that's another thing too. It just need to teach media literacy, and which I mean they are doing. I had a government and pop culture class, and they taught us there, both of them, like both times. I think though with media literacy, I feel like they teach it like being too complex. At least like when it's being the like for it being the only time you get taught it. I think you need to teach it at like a young age from just like a super simple thing of just kind of like use common sense, you know. Like, or like what's the source, which I think that is one factor that goes into it, but I think honestly that it can be simplified a lot. The whole like, oh, it needs to be peer reviewed by like 3 people or something like that, I think for part of like media literacy, I feel like it's kind of crazy. Because the thing is also, I feel like with social media too, they'll already confirm like if it's a good source, or like you'll know if it's a good source. So I feel like the like checking like 3 different articles or something like that. Oh, I think it's check 3 different articles that they said the same thing. I think that's what it was. And I think they had to be trusted sources. But like even then, that still was like kind of crazy. But I mean, yeah, it is to see if it's the consensus like fact, you know. You gotta check that out and look into it. But again, I feel like with social media, that is what other people's jobs have been, is doing that. But yeah, that is also probably me just being lazy. One, I think like I'm just so far to the left at this point where I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I can tell it even without like the media literacy classes, but yeah, obviously for the centrists, you'd need to help them. American centrists, not world centrists. Yeah. Well, I mean, also world centrists, but I was thinking because I'm American, so I was saying in the America Center, just to not confuse anybody. Because yeah, the world center is different than America Center. Because there really isn't that much of a center with how closely like the ideology of the two parties have been. Which I think that's also why there's been so much gridlock. Is because like yeah, they have very similar. Like they're just very similar. Well, and I also think they've gerrymandered it so it can be pretty even. Like yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think also with the internet, because people just become less prejudiced when they see like those people and be like, oh, they're just normal people, like just minorities. So I think that's another thing you see, and why like country probably get more left leaning. I mean, it's very easy to get into an echo chamber, but I think most people would go the other way and be like, oh yeah, no, these are just regular people. That's apparently how my grandpa was with gay people. It was obviously like 1960s like propaganda and all that, and then he met my aunt's friends who were a gay couple and was like, oh, this is pretty neat. And yeah, you kind of tolerate it then after that. I think that's another goal of mine though. It's just like, yeah, to make people not fall into an echo chamber. I mean, I guess technically there's like a left-leaning echo chamber, and I guess you could say I'm in it, but like the right one is like the one on the right is one where it's really bad. I guess maybe like tanky ones too. Or like authoritarian. Well, like I'm saying like Stalinism is more what I'm saying. Because technically if you remove the parties, then you're under one party, which would be authoritarianism, but yeah, I think there's so much negativity with that word that you're probably just gonna have to reframe it as like, oh, no parties. Even though technically it's authoritarianism, because it's all under one party. It's just not a named party, you know? The People's Party. Yeah, I feel like Kamala's campaign has felt even more alive. Her VP pick could have added to it, and boy did it. Because she chose like the best one, while Trump chose like the worst one. So yeah. But I think, well, no, because Trump picked Vance because his two sons wanted Vance. But I think they could have also just been because they're like, oh, well, he's like the most loyal, because it was still Biden who was the nominee. It's crazy because it feels like it wasn't that long ago, the RNC, which, I mean, I don't think it was. I think it was only like 3 weeks ago. Maybe a month ago at this point, but yeah. So I think they wanted someone loyal because they're like, oh, we got this easy. We got this election. And yeah, and then Biden dropped out. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, also Nancy Pelosi's been on like a hot streak, dude. She's been doing very well. Seems like someone who like actually wants to help out like the Democratic Party and all that. It is crazy. I think no progressive saw this coming from Nancy Pelosi, you know, this past month. They didn't see it coming at all. But they are very welcomed by it, you know. Guarantee you that. A very welcome surprise. Yeah. And now I'm actually kind of done with my political talk and like maybe talk about more lighthearted things. I mean, still going back to the driving, but like, I do remember. I don't remember. I do remember. I don't remember. Welcome to my brain. What was it, like a week ago? The collab happened or something like that with Raura, Iris, Kiara, and Crony. And they're basically playing a game of mini games, but it was in chicken. We got chicken format. Not the animal, but like the concept of chicken. And yeah, they had one where they drove. And so then they asked like, oh, who has a driver's license? And then Iris and Kiara said they didn't. And then Crony said that she had one, but didn't get one until last year. So she didn't have a driver's license until, or throughout her childhood. And also, when she joined Hololive, also was an important thing to note with that as well. And then Raur said that she had one, but she doesn't use it. It's just like, oh, awesome. Now, to be fair, like, yeah, two of them are, Raura and Kiara are European, and I'm sure the public transportation system and like how walkable the cities are much better in Europe. I'm pretty sure I've looked into that, and that's just true. Is much better. I'm not sure how it is in Canada, because I know Crody's Canadian, so I'm not sure how public transportation is up there. Although I'm sure it's better than the US, because the US is a real low bar. And I think Iris is American, but I assume she must have lived in the city then. I think she already said she was also a city girl. I don't think she has a license either. She doesn't either, but she's German. So it makes sense. Herb, I don't think, like, I don't think you've heard anything about Herb or Gigi's as far as like driver's license goes. You know, Mume has one, Narissa has one, and Callie I think has one. Yeah, I think why I brought it up, because I think I literally talked about this like the stream before or something like that, and then I saw that clip and I was like, god dang it. I feel personally attacked. Like, obviously I didn't know about it, but like I felt personally attacked, and I did not like it. It felt like it was spiteful just to me, and or to spite just me. Like, oh, awesome, dude. Love that. God, I'm burping a lot. This sucks. Unless these are just like silent hiccups, but I don't think they are. Because I've had hiccups before, like I've actually made the hic noise. So, I don't think they are hiccups. I think they're burps, like inner burps. Because also, yeah, they don't make any noise, but I think they're like inside burps. I'm sure there's a word for it. But, yeah. It's funny because I wanted to talk about that on stream since that happened, but I never did because I was getting so political. Or like playing a game. So like I didn't talk about it, but yeah, that was just interesting. Yeah, I really hope it's not playing ads on the other monitor, because I've clicked off on the tab, so I'm hoping it just played the song. Well, I'm sure some also don't have ads, so that's nice at least. But I really hope it's not playing ads, because if saw that one was a political ad. So I'm really hoping that's not the case. And if so, I guess there's gonna be political ads on this. Whoops. Oh well. Nothing I can really do about it. You know. If I was listening to it, like, I'd obviously know, but I have no idea. Because I don't listen. Oh, I think Bibu also said she can drive, didn't she? Because I think she made a joke about her feet being too short for the pedals. Oh yeah, no, because she also did the American Truck Driver Simulator or whatever. And I think, yeah, she said she didn't have a license then. And I think that is where the, like, short leg thing came about. I think I'm remembering the right person. Because I know Bibu definitely said she didn't have a license during that stream. Yeah, it's crazy how much of EN does not have a driver's license. When, like, yeah, the main English-speaking country is America, and you basically have to have a car to go anywhere. Like, that's crazy to me. I guess it's just because I don't live in the city, which I kind of wish I did, you know, because then I wouldn't have to deal with this driving nonsense, but yeah. It freaking sucks, man. Ugh. I hate it so much. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them were like me, though, where, like, they just stayed inside a lot. Because, like, I assume they were probably, like, a mix of, like, city kids, and then also, like, they just were indoors most of the time. So, like, they didn't need to go anywhere. Which is like me, but, like, I literally have to drive somewhere because also with how bad this country is, my mom really can't afford to, like, work on one job. So, and also, like, her job security is not great because the business might be going down. So yeah, that's awesome. Basically forced into getting a driver's license. Heck yeah, baby. I freaking love it. It's so awesome. Because, you know, you could argue like, oh, but what about the bus? Nope, it doesn't pick me up because I'm not in the school district, even though literally all the school bus would have to do is go straight. Go in a straight line for like 5 minutes. And there's my house, but yeah, nope. It's in a different school district because for some reason they just can't share school districts. I don't know why. Because, like, I think its school district reaches places that take like 40 minutes to drive to, but for like half an hour. But yeah, not the one 5 minutes away. No, not that one. I'm pretty sure where I live also is closer to the school I go to than the school district, like this district the school is in. It's also freaking stupid. I think that should be a policy though. Like, you have to make it so like you have a bus covering every single person. I feel like that just has to be a thing. Unless it's like a 30. Well, I guess I said they were 30-minute drives. To be fair, I don't think they are 30 minutes. I think it's just because like all the stops that makes it feel like they're that long. It's probably honestly like a 15-20 minute drive probably, but like, yeah, if it's like a half an hour, 40-minute drive, then like, yeah, maybe the buses don't have to go that far, but it's like the case for me where it's like 5 minutes, like, come on. You can get a bus over there. Freaking sucks. I just hate driving, dude. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. Oh boy, this might be the time I die today. Like, yeah, great. That's awesome. And like, the thing is, like, I'm so defensive, I'm probably gonna get rear-ended. Because I'm so worried about rear-ending someone else, so like I give myself like a huge amount of room. I'm worried like someone's behind me, they're just gonna hit me because they're not expecting me to slow down. It's like I'm probably just gonna get rear-ended at one point. It's like awesome, dude. Now a whole other freaking headache we have to deal with. Yeah. Nobody's happy about this at all. Awesome. I am the conservatives are they're boycotting another place. Oh, they're boycotting because they won't give Elon money. That's so funny. Oh, that's awesome, dude. They want to boycott them because they're not giving them money. I guarantee you, they do not care, and they will be fine. It's the same thing, the Hogwarts Legacy stuff, baby, and the McDonald's stuff as well. They're not gonna be hurting, and it's, you know, I feel like it's a personal decision whether you want to buy it or not because of those factors, but yeah, if you call for a boycott, it's not gonna work. Even though I think in like my 3rd grade social studies, they're like, oh yeah, boycotting works great. It doesn't. Or like they at least tell you how boycotting works and then be like, oh yeah. And then they give you the demands and then they don't. Because we're in lazy capitalism, so it doesn't matter. Like they'll be fine with or without you anyway. So it does not matter. Why I always say with boycotting, it's your personal choice. If it affects you that much that you don't want to get the product, that's okay with me, you know? That's your prerogative. I'm gonna sneeze. There it is. I think the thing that sucks is like I yap a lot, which is great, but it's about politics, which is bad. For streaming, I should say. For like getting a streaming audience. Like yapping is great for that, but when it's about politics, it's bad. Because people don't want to talk about that. Which again, I understand. It's just because a lot of people are coming for entertainment, but it's just like, man, if only my obsession was on something else, then my yapping would be really good. Freaking sucks. I'll say this is like kind of way past this point, but I remember at the Hololive like Dodgers event, someone like got upset that like Galgura was singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and they said like, "Oh, person with like no athleticism is like a part of a baseball event or something like along those lines." And it's like, okay, look at how many people throw in the first pitch, and boy, are they terrible. Pretty much all of them. And like a lot of them are actors, I'm pretty sure. They're typically throw like those like celebrity like first pitches. I think a lot of them are like actors, which I mean, yeah, sure, they have to be somewhat fit, but I mean, like not as fit as an athlete. I think they're just salty, is what it is. And also, they had a comedian sing the Star Spangled Banner, and they sang it purposely bad. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But it is such a dumb argument. Honestly, kind of a stupid thing to get mad at, anyway. Like, why does it care if they're athletic or not? You know? At that point, I'm pretty sure they're just hating. You know? Because it's not a good reason. Like, they're the same as any other entertainer. Any other streamer on this platform, basically. That's not like a gym workout guy. because obviously those guys would be fit. But yeah, I mean, just like any other like streamer that plays games, essentially, they're no different. I mean, I'm sure the argument would be the same, but I just feel like the person's hating. They saw her writing dirty. I am the palest boy around. Oh yeah, actually, that's another reason why I didn't stream on Tuesday, because Tuesday was like, obviously like kind of what I was playing for was like karaoke, and I think I was getting anxiety towards it. There was also that. And also like, I actually do want to work on my singing voice. I might try that tomorrow. I might try and work on it a little bit. Because there was a song now, like, I really want to sing it well. That I saw. There's an English cover, Plastic Love. It's not the Caitlin Myers one. It's the Will Stetson one. Because the Caitlin Myers one is actually the one I saw first. And I think I actually saw it, you know, after a certain event happened. But, yeah. It was funny, I got recommended Caitlin Myers stuff through her freaking Beneath the Mask cover. And I saw the like city pop song she did in like English. And then I added those. Yeah. It's the Will Stetson cover of Plastic Love. It is neat though, the Caitlin one, like Caitlin Myers lyrics are kind of like the English ones at that point. Which yeah, it is kind of crazy to look back at that like one girl clip of her singing it now, like with context. Like the known context now, it's like kind of crazy actually. Like wow. When she sang the English lyrics. There's only like 2 lines though. I honestly thought it was like, oh, the rest of the song's gonna be like that, but no, it was just like, I think it was the bridge, right? That was like English, and then after that was just back to Japanese. So I was like, oh, okay. Alright. I mean, it makes sense. It is a song in Japanese, but I feel like also when it kind of just switched to English, you're like expecting like, oh, it's just gonna be like that for the rest of the song, and then there's like a few more lines, and I was like, oh, okay. It was still like a little disappointing, but I understand. Yeah. There's like so many songs, like I just want to sing well. But I've also learned that like, yeah, singing is one of those things that also you just have biological advantages for, which also sucks. And it is what it is. And like, I'm not sure if I have asthma or like a type of asthma. I could see, I mean, I don't need an inhaler. But like, I'm just curious if like, yeah, my breath isn't as good or whatever it is, you know? It could be the fact that I cover my face every time I sleep. That probably doesn't help. That probably put a lasting effect, but it's like the only way I can sleep, man. It's just because I've slept like that for so long where I put a blanket over my face. Like, it's hard for me not to. Like, it just feels weird if I don't. I think that's why, like, it kind of sucks sleeping at hotels for me. Because, like, yeah, you just have the one comforter. And so, obviously, you can't really put it over your face. I don't want to use, like, the pillow. I guess I could use, like, my jacket. But, like, I probably wore it or something and I don't want to use it. Or it's like I'd have to get up to use it, and like I don't really care enough to do that. So that's probably what it is. I also haven't been in a hotel in a while, like a long time. I think it's been since like 2019. I think it's been like 5 years. Yeah, so it's been a minute. 'Cause yeah, I don't think I've gone on any vacations since 2019. I mean, again, like, even though I have all of this, right? Like, my family's still strapped for cash, you know? I mean, I got most of this, like, when my parents were still together. So, yeah. Pretty much the only things I got since then have been the capture card and my microphone. That's about it for my setup. Even then, I really need to check my mic settings to make sure, like, they're actually, like, the best they can be. I really feel like they aren't. I don't know, because whenever I hear myself, it just sounds off, right? Like, it doesn't sound as clear, I feel like, as it should be. I'm not sure if, like, maybe I'm just talking in the mic wrong or something like that. Or what, but, like, something about it just feels off. Like, maybe that's something I can look into? I don't know, man. It sucks. Yeah, another thing to be able to sing better too would just be like, just the ability to sing whatever I'd want for karaoke, at least, like, and do it well if I want to. Like, if I don't want to do it well, then, like, I don't have to, you know? But, like, yeah, it's fine otherwise. Yeah, I don't think I said it, but going back to the politics, I do think Tim Walz, though, is just, like, actually the best. Because it unites, like, everybody, you know? Everybody likes it. Yeah. These rallies are massive. Like, they've got to rub off on the voting, dude. It's crazy. Okay, thank God these are just muted. I actually didn't know if they were. Someone asked JD Vance why people in Wisconsin want to have a beer with you. And it seems like he did an awkward laugh. Well, I guess they'd want to have a beer with me because I do like to drink beer. This man has no charisma. He has negative charisma. Negative charisma. Yeah, this is massive. Yeah. I mean, these massive crowds. I would be curious how, like, Obama crowds look like, because Yeah, these are definitely bigger than Biden crowds. Or like Bernie crowds even too. I think Bernie had massive crowds. Yeah, like that's huge. That's crazy. Like I think we might be okay here for this election, you know? Because they were also pointing out that Wisconsin one has Republican in Congress too. Where that Wisconsin rally is nuts, dude. I think we'll be fine. Especially if Walz keeps up his messaging, we'll be a-okay. I don't know why I keep going on this, but
Cheryl. Hey, she's on vacation.
I just want to, you know?
In the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it
Let's
turns
forget
on.
about
Choose
Illinois
app protect.
as far as
One
like
bank
safe
keeps you in control.
blue
Visit
states. Oops, I
chase.com/chip.
messed that up.
Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Oh, and I also forgot about that. There we go. I am curious how that Texas vote will look. Especially since, like, obviously Biden wouldn't have had that much energy in his election, and it's still, like, what was it, like, not that much went to Trump? Like 5 or something like that? So, like, I am curious how that Texas vote's gonna do. Like, I think Texas is, like, less red than, like, even Ohio at this point. It's crazy. Like, Ohio and Iowa, I think they're more red than Texas. It's gotten to that point, and Florida. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Wisconsin, Michigan, I think they're both getting... Seems people actually have confidence in Pennsylvania they can get, and then yeah, that's already a win. They don't need the other 4 swing states. I feel like it still kind of sucked though, like if Kamala wins by less than Biden, because like there's so much energy now in like the Democratic ticket compared to like 2020 that like I feel like it'd just be kind of sad for Kamala to like technically, even if like she wins all the Biden states, would win by less because it was worth 3 more votes in 2020, which is kind of messed up, I feel like, but all right. Yeah, maybe she gets all the swing states and then was really close on other ones. I feel like that's like a best case scenario though. I feel like best case scenario, she wins all the swing states. Unfortunately. I don't think she's gonna win all the swing states. Like, it'd at least be very unlikely. I'm hoping like it's like, yeah, even like a Texas would go blue or something like that. Like, that'd be crazy if a Texas went blue, you know? Or like Ohio or Iowa went back to blue, like that'd be crazy. I think Florida's getting more and more red, so I don't think Florida would switch over. Great, let me just look at the 2020 election again. 'Cause I think Trump won Florida by more. Oh no, he actually won Texas by more, but it was by a percentage more. But yeah, I think Florida has only gotten more red since. So yeah, it's not that much of a difference. Yeah, because Pennsylvania and Michigan are worth less now, and where's the other one that's like worth less? Oh, Colorado is actually worth more. Oregon's worth more. I think just on average, it was Republican states just had more, though. Oh yeah, Florida had 1 less. North Carolina had one less. West Virginia, I think, had one more. Yeah, it did. Ohio had one more. Or, yeah, it did. Doesn't Vermont have 4 now? Oh wait, no it doesn't. Yeah, no. Vermont's like the second least populated. Of course it would have 3. Yeah, idiot. Yeah, what are the ones with 3? Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Vermont, right? DC. Oh yeah, Delaware. That makes sense. Yeah, those are the 3 ones. Is Wyoming, the Dakotas, Alaska, also. Delaware, Vermont, and then DC just has 3 because of, was it the 23rd Amendment? This would be crazy though, actually, like, because I'm just like looking at this now, like, this would be crazy. This is just full on connected. Like, there's no way this is gonna happen. Obviously, that's definitely gonna happen, but like, just being connected like all the way through here, you know? And then basically having like all of this circled, you know? God, that map looks so nice though. What are like other close ones? Like, what were there like kind of close races? Were there any? I mean, that's the thing though with the Republican states. A lot of them are just like deep red. You know? That's why like they get most of their states. It's just because they're deep red because nobody lives them. Like in this entire like area, it's like nobody lives here. On Alaska by 10. Oh yeah, I think I looked at this. Like, yeah, they definitely voted for someone else, because that's 92, I think, so someone got 8% in Alaska. I think Alaska, I think I saw though, aren't they getting more left? Yeah, the cities are getting more left. So like, that's kind of a big deal, you know, like the big parts of Alaska are getting more left-leaning. Like, that's kind of big. Kind of important. And us, especially with like this big of a change. I don't know, man. Like, maybe in some crazy world that could happen. Who knows? Probably not. It's probably still gonna be that, but I mean, who knows, man? Blue Alaska. Maybe in not so distant future. I mean, it wouldn't help them out that much, but because even if you do this, say like if we go back to how it was, there we go. Goes back. Like if we were to set the same scenario, like it doesn't help out that much more, because again you still have these 3, which will probably go this way. This will probably happen. I think this one's the most guaranteed, or like most surefire swing state. And I think, yeah, it was the only one he didn't win in Biden in 2016. It was NC. Yeah, because he won Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Yeah, so he only didn't win North Carolina. And that's probably going to happen again. It's why, like I say, best case scenario is probably this. That's probably best case scenario. I also wouldn't be surprised if like Texas turned into like this or even that. You know? Something to ponder. I think also you've seen this. What is lean? I mean, looks like that. I think they're still likely. Like, that's just the thing, man, with Republican states. Like, a lot of these are just likely. I think this one's also listed as likely. But, like, that's just how it is. I think also with Maine, it was like this and like that. A lot more of them are for Democratic states, are more like not as big of blocks, you know. Had it like that. Oh yeah, it's in New Hampshire. There it is. I think they still have Georgia going Republican. And like these going Republican too. Like this one, I think is like here. I think it's on the same ground as Texas. Should they had Nevada winning? Yeah, like that. And then I think there's like this. You know, like that's looking pretty good. That setup. I'm stretching. Yeah. I mean, just imagine like even like this, you know. We get stuff like that. That's great. I love that personally. Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half. I'm gonna end it. I like how like the last like few streams I've just always been doing that. I think it's just that the political map just interests me because of all the colors. I think it's just the colors, honestly. that's the main thing. It's just colors. I like the colors. What can I say? But yeah. I don't have to do an outro really. Because I still have nobody watching me. I will need to remind myself that, like, yeah, once I actually have a chat, I can't do this for every stream. But why is there a $sign? Why does it keep adding, like, random symbols? It's not on the Streamlabs thing. Whatever. I like how that one just shows up. Like, what timer is that on? It's on, like, a 30-minute timer, I think, and it just shows up. Whatever. Anyway, all platforms, Airwell6464, so yeah, see ya Friday then, goodbye.